And we're back with some more oxygen not included on our little baby base here, and it's coming along quite well. At the moment, I'm just switching us all over to natural gas power. Now, it was pointed out in the comments that we're pulling in a lot of natural gas from our nearby friendly oily asteroid. That's, what, 30% of the cargo we bring back? Actually, slightly more. We can't bring back the crude oil or the petroleum, so yeah, we're bringing back about a ton. We're bringing back about a ton of methane every run, which turns into a ton of natural gas, which is literally a ton of natural gas, which keeps you going for an awful, awful long time. So what we've started doing is just running ourselves completely off natural gas. Now, of course, that stuff does have to melt a bit, which is turning out to be a bit tricky. That stuff does not want to melt. Simplest thing to do, though, we're just going to stick a metal tile under there. We'll just use some steel, or actually gold. Gold has some good stuff going for it. So we'll put some gold under there. That'll help melt that the methane we bring in, so we hopefully shouldn't run dry. But, I mean, we literally have tons of the stuff right now. That should get us going. That means we can rip out all of this. All of these can go, so I'm just going to burn off whatever we've got left in the system. All the natural gas, all the petroleum, all of that can get burned off. How are you looking? Oh, I forgot to connect that up, didn't I? Alright, that will get rid of the last of our ethanol and the last of our natural gas that we've got floating around in the pipes over there. Once that's all gone, we're living entirely off this, and we can rip out, well, everything here. Well, except the poke shells. And now we have lots more free space. Well, except for those poke shell spawns. I'm going to have to find a more permanent location for them at some point where they won't broil alive. I was thinking of maybe chucking them on the opposite side of the rocket silo because we have plenty of room over there. But the temperature they can live down to is 100°C. And it's a little bit hotter than 100°C over there. So I need to find some use for that space. I don't want to let it go to waste. Every piece of space is precious. It's just that is a little bit harder to access and will probably be quite toasty. Also, this is getting damaged now. Yeah, this is not my best design. It's small, but it's definitely got some bugs I need to iron out. But I'm going to worry about that later. Today, we need to get moving because, well, the base is starting to get warmer and warmer and warmer. There's heat leaking in from up here. We've got open plan electrolyzers. I want to get our cooling loop back up and running. But to get our cooling loop back up and running, we've got to clean up the mess that's around here and, you know, do something a little bit more permanent. A couple of things we need to do really quickly, though, is we need to drag down the temperature pretty fast in our bedrooms and stuff like that. Things are getting a little bit toastier than we would like. At the same time, I want to cool down this area here. We've got a big ball of steam in here, and we need to start disposing of that. This is sort of the nuclear waste left over from our earlier cooling. But we can sort it out. We'll just run some cooling pipes through there and slowly drain the heat out of it and dump it into our cooling system. Oh, and down here, we've dumped in a lot more water. We've got more of a buffer here. It used to only have 20 kilos of pressure. Now we're up to 40. I might add some more in later just to see. It'll stop big temperature spikes. Oh, and some other minor changes. The gas piping overlay is just getting crazy now. The gas outputs from these are going to get dumped into space. It's just, we could run slicksters, but there's just not enough space. The amount of space it would take to run slicksters is just not worth it. Over here, this is, waste carbon dioxide is getting pumped out of here and dumped up into space. We're filtering it up here, though, so if there's any oxygen or anything like that, it will get dropped out here. But by and large, any carbon dioxide that ends up in that pool down there, otherwise it was becoming a problem. Yeah. Once we've got this all set up, we'll plug it in and see how the cooling works. All of our plumbing's hooked up. All we got to do now is do a little bit of snips. We'll grab the snipping tool, snip those off, and let's just expand this. This is one of the joys of having a big liquid tank built into your cooling loop. Because of that big liquid tank, we don't have to care. It'll expand out, assuming we have enough liquid left. Or how much do we got in there? Yeah, we got so much. Worst case scenario, we can always dump in some more. But that should now start dragging some chill up there, though that's probably going to take a little while. Yeah, hold on, you know what, we'll zoom out a bit, and let's skip forward in time and see what happens. Would you look at that, our living area is now livable, and our reed fibre plants are finally back up and running again, which means we can start chewing through those old polluted water reserves. We'll have to make some minor changes down here, unfortunately. This is set to 5 kilos, but due to the annoying habit of this to back up, what'll happen is it'll let through 5 kilos and then it will blob out nothing. So do you see these gaps in the pipe? Then there's 5 kilos, 5 kilos, 5 kilos, 2 kilos empty, 5 kilos in the pipe, then 2 kilos nothing. It's interfering with that. I need to increase the flow. So I'm going to have to break back in there again, unfortunately. And our rocket, when it came back, did let in some carbon dioxide, but this little thing down here seems to be working fine. Anytime it detects carbon dioxide above this level, this gas pump activates and it sucks the carbon dioxide out. It's acting quite well, and this just means the thermium gas pump is not down here and likely to get hit by any, meteors or anything like that. Don't know how practical it was, but it seems to be working quite efficiently at removing just enough carbon dioxide without us wasting any steam. Yeah. This, though, needs to be taken care of. Simplest thing to do that is we're just going to replace one of the tiles here with something less heat resistant. So if we just rip out that tile and you know what, we'll put one there as well. We'll rip out this tile and replace it with an igneous rock one. And we've got our cooling loop passing through there. So what should happen is the heat from this should start getting dumped into the tile. Yeah, there we go. We might want to insulate around it though. I want to make sure the cooling loop is carrying it away and it doesn't dump heat into the surrounding area. How are we looking? Yeah, let's just stop that heat spread before it even begins. I'm going to stick a radiant pipe in there as well, just to help speed that along. What are we doing at 24.9, coming at it 30. Right, that's a bit of a jump. That should hopefully be sucking the heat out of there at a rapid rate. What's the tile at? 102? Yeah, we'll give that 5-10 cycles. That should totally be gone. That means we can also start decommissioning these steam turbines as well. They can all go. So much extra space. You know what? We don't really care about any of this, do we? Yeah, we'll go with the pinch of pepper seeds. Why not? Though I have no intention of putting any of those together just yet. Let me see what else we can rip out of this monstrosity. This has managed to cool down enough so that it's turned back into liquid, so time to pump it all out. I was just going to keep cooling it, but then I thought, no, we've got 90 plus degree water in here. Let's use it for something. So I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll grab it all and we'll dump it down into our industrial sauna. The reason being that the water pressure in here is quite low, or the steam pressure in here is quite low. If we crank it up higher, it'll just help insulate it better when the rocket takes off and lands. We won't have those massive temperature spikes because, well, there'll be loads of water to eat up the problem. And why is that still there? Deconstruct that, please. We're going to stick in a liquid pump. That will get rid of all of that. With all of that water out of there, we can finally just rip all of this section out and use it for what we want. Now, people were asking about the pipes the last day, why they all look different colors. It seems the latest patch has made a few changes. Insulated pipes now just look like that weird sort of light blue color, and insulated gas pipes look this color, though it seems to be discolored by the gases that are in them. So white pipes are still uninsulated pipes, but the sort of bluish, yeah, I'm going to go with bluish-greenish, depending on bluish-greenish. I'm not even sure if there are words anymore, but whatever. They're the colors they are now. Well, once that's all emptied out, we'll have that space left. I'm thinking we might want to compress down our composting. The reason being, we don't really care about composting polluted dirt. We don't need the dirt anymore. It's of absolutely no use to us. And, oh, we can get rid of that. Yeah, I had to deconstruct and reconstruct this a few times as it overheated. It was right beside our lock into the steam room, or the rocket silo, which was, you know, it got a little bit warm around here, and even a steel sink will eventually overheat, it seems. But there have been several suggestions, why am I sieving polluted water when I could just boil it, as in just boil the water through here, or boil it in one of our many hotspots to turn it into clean water. Yeah, but then I'd have to cool it back down again is the problem. I still need that water to run through our toilets, and I also need to run it through our electrolyzers, and if you put 99-degree water into your electrolyzers, it produces 99-degree oxygen. As it is, it's going to produce 70-degree oxygen no matter what we put in there, but I'd rather not dump heat that intense everywhere. So usually it's just simpler to sieve it, and I think if we get rid of the compost entirely, we can just let the polluted dirt sit there. Who will care? We have some polluted dirt around. Worst case scenario, we put down one deodorizer and our problem is solved. I think that's what we'll go with. Yeah, we'll get rid of all of this and that'll free up even more space for our new little mini base. We have managed to clear out a lovely piece of space right here. This giant piece of real estate we've managed to core out now just has to contain all of our bedrooms, our kitchen, our food production, and our dining areas, and our toilets. We just have to squeeze it in here somehow. Shouldn't be that bad. I mean, we've had so much practice miniaturizing things. Oh, this rocket has come back, and if we check here... Was that damage I just saw there? You know what? Don't care. Methane. We got 1 ton. 1,065 kilos of methane came back on that last run. That's an awful lot. The last batch we got through has actually melted now, so it's down to... We've got a ton per tile. How many tiles of that have we got up there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got almost 5 tons of this stuff. Building a sour gas boiler is going to be overkill, but that never stopped us before, so we're still going to do it, of course. The water that was going up here, I think I've just cut it off. I was letting that overflow up there, but I've decided, you know what, we will just let the water collect down here, and we're not even going to bother pumping it out. We don't need the clay anymore. I have stopped bothering to fill these up and off-gas them. We don't need the clay, we don't need the ceramic, we don't need any of that. So why bother? Let's just keep the water and use it as we need it. That seems like the simpler thing to do. But first, this here is going to be our dining floor. We'll stick in our shovels over here. 3, 6, 9, 12 tiles is just enough for the smallest ranch possible. We quickly set this up. We've got a grooming station, a critter drop-off, and an automatic dispenser. They're all set up to dispense, well, shovel eggs and collect shovels. So, simplest thing to do, we're just going to sweep up all those shovel eggs and have them all transferred across. Yep, we could wait 100 cycles and eventually they'd all be over there, but that would take way, way, way too long. So we're going to have to capture all the critters here. Oh, our rancher is going to have a busy day. Actually, what's the grooming station set to? Damn it. Can I click the grooming station? Oh, I had it. Nope, wrong one. That's Krull. Nope, grooming station. Right, we'll turn your priority down to a 5. We'll turn this one up to a 6, just to make sure the critters over here get groomed. Now, I gotta keep an eye on these and make sure none of them drop voles. If any of them get called to lunch along the way, we're gonna end up with shovels running around our base, and I'd prefer if that didn't happen. Alright, so maybe one shovel got a little bit out. Just a scooch. It's 30 years of age though, so we're fine. This one here also 31 years of age, it's already reproduced, so we can just get rid of that one. This one should also have reproduced, so we can get rid of that one too. Just because it was pooping regolith everywhere. Alright, that means we've only got, what, 20 of them over here? Yeah, probably should have left the eggs till last. Oops. Oh, well, do we have enough is the question. I think, you know what, I'll find out as we go. We got 45 critters in there. Yeah, there should be plenty. I'm not even going to bother doing the math again. Next thing we have to figure out is how we're going to put in the kitchen and make sure the kitchen fits along with the dining area. This is the idea I've come up with. It steals a little bit from some of the older base designs. This is a refrigerator. Yes, I know no one uses these. Why would anyone ever use a refrigerator, and why is there so many food poisoning germs in that? How? I don't remember putting any water in here. There's no germs in this water. This water is clean. Where did they find the germy water to put in this? You know what? Let's deconstruct that building. I don't want all of that poisoning all my dupes again. Let's make sure all of that is swept up and gotten rid of. It'll get dumped in here. Anyway, yes, where was I? Yes. Meat from here will get picked up by the auto sweeper and dumped into the electric grill. And the electric grill will only be making barbecue. We don't care about anything else anymore. So all the meat will get swept up from there, dumped into the electric grill, automatically turned into barbecue, at which point it will get put in here, where only barbecue will be stored. So the barbecue will get stored in a refrigerator, meaning we can have 100 kilos of barbecue all the time in here, perfectly fresh. Wow, 100 kilos, that's a lot. The rest of it, we don't care about. As long as we have 100 kilos of backup barbecue, we'll be fine. This will mean we'll end up with barbecue going off. Which, yeah, that's okay. We'll just take that and dump it. Any rot piles or polluted dirt will also get picked up by the auto sweeper, dumped in here, and will get conveyored over to that point where I still have not put in a conveyor chute, and drop down there where there's a deodorizer, so it'll rot, turn into oxygen, whatever, we don't care. There's also the polluted dirt from the water sieve right here, so this deodorizer will be working double duty, which is always good. Now, over here we've got our pedestals. These pedestals are hovering in midair. We deleted the tiles that were under them, which is great, because now we can do something... Where is it? Furniture. We can stick the mess tables under them, and the mess tables don't care that their head space is occupied by its pedestal. This is a little trick I stole from another mini base I was doing before. And if we check on our decor overlay, ooh, that's looking well tasty. There is plenty of decor going around there, because we're going to stick the bedrooms underneath this whole mess. Though, yeah, that hydrogen cloud makes me uncomfortable. I'm going to have to find some way to get rid of that, aren't I? Yeah, we'll worry about that in a minute. First, let's get these bedrooms in. The plan here is the decor from up here is going to leak down into these bedrooms. Hopefully, though, we won't have that much hydrogen problems. We might have to do something about that later. But for now, we'll just grab some cots. We're not going with fancy beds. And we're going to make a tiny, tiny little bedroom. As well as that, since it's so small, it's only 40 tiles, it still technically counts as a barrack, so they'll still get the morale bonus. Though that one morale, who cares? We're getting about 8 from the barbecue. Yeah, the question is whether or not they can sleep in there. And decor-wise, yep. They're getting quite a nice bit of decor, except for that last bed. That last bed, you know, I might want to move this whole thing just one tile to the left, just to make sure that last bed gets a bit more decor. They could end up at 112 decor if we move them a bit. You know what? Oh, and this always comes up. You'll see that total decor plus 120, maximum decor. No, that's not the maximum decor. What that is referring to is the maximum average over the day that makes any difference. If they're exposed to 120 decor for the whole day, the entire day, and that's their absolute average, that's the maximum amount of morale bonus they're going to get. However, you can expose them to, say, 240 decor for half the day, and that would give them the exact same as if they were exposed, and then for the rest of it, you know, only 0 decor, and that would be the exact same. Or you could expose them for just a quarter of the day to, what, 480 decor, and then for the rest of the 3/4 of the day, you will expose them to 0, and they will still get the maximum bonus. So what you're trying to do here is just decor bomb them so that when they're sleeping or eating, they get the maximum amount of decor absorption, so you get the maximum morale bonus. Yeah, always comes up. It's really badly labelled, that. Before we start putting in our atmosuit ducts and such like, I think we should probably get these poke shells out of here. If I delete this tile or this tile, those poke shells will just explode out of there. It's happened once before. We'll just wrangle them all up, and we'll have them all transported down here. I've already set this up a while back. I've also made sure that the doors can't be opened. I want to make sure they're all wrangled before anyone goes in there, because otherwise they get clubbed to death really quickly. It's like watching a bunch of baby seals run into a, I don't know, an automated clubbing machine. I don't know, that whole thing ran away from me when I started talking. Alright, so maybe I was a bit hasty and went in and got a couple of dupes injured. So I've went with a slightly different plan. What? Oh, damn it, what am I doing? Yeah, I don't need that there, do I? What we've done now is I've got all the eggs that were there, and I've moved them up to this point. We'll dump everything down there, and then we'll drop the eggs in on top of them. This way, we don't have to worry about anyone getting clubbed, because there's no eggs around. No one gets smashed. That would be a much smarter and faster plan. A couple of the crabs managed to go walkabout, but we'll rein them back in soon enough. Now, where are the eggs? We don't have a lot of them there. Can they incubate inside a door? You know what? It doesn't matter. We'll move them all back down once that one gets roped in. All done. Finally, we can clean up some of the space here. Though on the bright side, we did end up with a few more hospital beds because of all of that. Alright, what we need to put down here is some atmosuit ducts so we can get in and out. Ooh, and maybe we can squeeze in a bathroom while we're at it. That might be an idea. Alright, that would be... Wow, I love super speed. That should... Oh, damn it. The problem is we're down to 9 atmosuit ducts. With 9 atmosuit ducts, we'll be 1 short of our 10 dupes. I mean, one of them's in a rocket right now, and... Oh, which reminds me, I should probably send that rocket off, shouldn't I? Fully fueled? Yep. Planet, plenty of resources. Yeah, let's do this. That can go off and grab us more methane. How much are we looking at here? We've got, yeah, a ton per tile. That is beautiful. Oh, close the doors. I'm letting all that precious steam out that's providing us with so much power. Oh my god, I am loving this design. We're just having an industrial brick beside your rocket silo. I mean, okay, I had to cram an awful lot of water in here to make this work, but it's quite stable and nothing's overheating. Yeah, I'm going to call that a win. Yeah, over here. Yeah, we're going to be slightly short. Ooh, wait a minute. I've got an idea. We might be able to squeeze in 1 extra atmosuit dock. I mean, at the end here, we have to stick in the station, the end station, the atmosuit checkpoint. But if we do some slight modifications, and there's our solution. We've got rid of the doors to the bathroom, and instead... Now this entire area is a bathroom. It's exactly 64 tiles in size, even though it's only got 1 toilet in it. And we can set the arrows, I think, to... I don't think it really matters. There's no food in there. We'll make sure that no one can get in that side. That means they all have to come in through here, drop off their suits, go to bed. Then when they're leaving, they have to come out through here, past there. And if they're going to the bathrooms, they got to go in here. It's not perfect, but it's definitely compact. Well, then we just grab one of these, and we can stick it at the front. But first, we got to fill these all up, power them up, the usual. This should only take about 5 minutes. Our rocket has returned. Let's see, what have we got in each of these? You've got half a ton of methane, or methane, whichever you want to call it. Oh, actually, I got to get rid of that carbon dioxide somehow. I've got an awful lot of carbon dioxide built up in here. 780, well, I'm going to have about a ton of carbon dioxide that I have to liquefy. Though I'm not really sure how to get rid of it. I don't want to dump it into my rocket silo because then the gas pump has to pump it out. And I can't really dump it into space because there's nowhere to really dump it. I suppose I could arrange something over here. This whole section's going to go. I think we're also going to get rid of our Drecos as well. We don't need them. And we've almost got our oxygen full. Once we've got the oxygen all the way up to there, we can start migrating everyone over to this side of the base. Now to move everything over, we're just going to put in an atmosuit checkpoint. I've set everything here so that they're just deliver suit or just leave empty. So I've left them all empty. That means they should be able to just walk through here and instantly drop off their suits as we migrate them. And now it's just a case of migrating everyone over to this section. Yeah, simple enough as just, yeah, let's assign that to, you know what? Baby Yoda can have that caught. Cara Dune, Fennec, and then we just go through and do this. And that should be the end of that. With all of them assigned, they should automatically move over there when they want to go to sleep and return there when they're finished. Blueprint, we don't really, more oxyferns, why not? Maybe I'll find a use for them later. I doubt it though. We'll have to give this a cycle, but once that's done, we should be safe. I've expanded the cooling loop here to pass through this living quarters area. Everything's now reasonably cool, though I might want to put in some gold. You know what? We'll leave out the gold pipes. It's fine. It seems to be working. Alright, let's give this a cycle or two and see if any of our dupes manage to find some way to hurt themselves. The dupes have been disturbingly good. None of them have decided to find a way to, hurt themselves. I'm frankly shocked. I've been slowly demolishing all this stuff over here. I don't want to pop all of these at once, otherwise they're full of oxygen, so there's 200 kilos of oxygen in each one of those, and as I pop them, you'll see that the pressure in here goes up to 2 kilos. I don't want that getting over to the bedrooms, or we'll end up with people getting popped eardrums. It would be unpleasant. Now all we have to do is, get rid of all of this, and I think it's time we got rid of our Drecos. In fact, I forgot to replace the Drecos as they died. I didn't automate this, it had to be all done manually. So we're down to 3 Dreclet eggs, and this one will probably die another 75 cycles if we let him live, but that's not going to happen. Let's get rid of most of this. We want to prep this for a rocket silo and, well, sour gas boiler. I think, all of this up here can pretty much go. We'll leave this in here to off gas. We only really need this area down here to put in the sour gas boiler, but we're going to move everything we can over to the left-hand side. When it comes to the hydrogen generators and the hydrogen overflow, we've been burning that stuff off to, not let the hydrogen back up and also generate us some power. No longer. From now on, we're just going to dump it into space. We don't need the power anymore because of the sheer quantity of natural gas we've been pulling in. And there comes a whole extra ton of natural gas. Is that, 532 kilos in each one. That's just so much. And another, 246 kilos of isoresin? Oh, beautiful. Though the carbon dioxide I need to start getting rid of. How much carbon dioxide is there in there? There's like a ton of carbon dioxide. I cannot have that exploding. So we are going to move all the carbon dioxide to over here. Well, we'll make it a sweep-only command, maybe. Nope, wrong one. That was bad. There we go. Carbon dioxide is under liquefiable for some reason, and methane is under, something else. We will sweep all of that up now, and hopefully they'll dump it all over there without causing a massive explosion of carbon dioxide in our base. We'll leave it over there. Eventually it'll pop, and hopefully when it does, it won't cause us any more issues. That's 1.2 tons. I'll call that a win. That carbon dioxide finally popped. It will very, very slowly dissipate into the background of space. Seems space is having a hard time taking care of that. You know what? We will just seal it up. I don't want any of that breaking out of there and messing up that system. Done. Blueprint. Just give us something random. We'll take the glass. We don't care about anything else. Alright, this whole area's got to go. Hydrogen generators, bye-bye. One other quick change I made, I stole this from the comments, also was to do with this this over here. There's been a problem with this backing up. Well, the reason being the thermosensor here, what will happen is the oxygen will come in, the oxygen will instantly turn into liquid and fall down, and this thermosensor was just sitting there in vacuum, not getting a proper temperature read. So instead, we dumped in a little bit of hydrogen, 5 kilos of the stuff. Probably should have stuck with 2, but anyway, 5 kilos end up there. So that means that acts as sort of a transfer medium. So even if all the oxygen in here has turned into liquid, there's still hydrogen touching the thermosensor. So the thermosensor actually knows how cold it is in here, and it stopped my oxygen freezing solid all the time. And I think that might have been one of the reasons some of these tiles broke. But yeah, we'll give that another few hundred cycles and see what happens. How's our system looking? I think we're ready to launch again. Yeah, this rocket has actually been rather productive for us. We may want to start targeting another planet. Let's see, do we want this one? Do we need fullerene? You know what? I think we're going to want some more fullerene for our next setup. Also, dumping the excess hydrogen out here means we're losing hydrogen instead of steam every time we open the doors. Not the worst thing in the world. You can go there and you can pick us up some fullerene, obsidian, copper, and iron. One of the joys of the obsidian we're going to be getting is we can actually use that to keep... One second. We can use it to restrain these voles. Now, you might have noticed they haven't broken out of there. That's because of a few sneaky buildings. If we check minerals here, you'll notice that the tiles here are made of obsidian. They're obsidian insulated tiles. Just these 3 here, because they can't bore through obsidian. Also, these airflow tiles are made of steel, because they can't drill through steel. The door is made of steel, and they also can't drill through diamond. So there's diamond window tiles and more steel airflow tiles. The steel airflow tiles are to let hydrogen up through here and get sucked up by that pump. But all of that meant we were able to keep all of those in there. Just some obsidian, some steel, and some diamond. Handy way of keeping yourself in food. Oh, there's no point getting rid of all of this food that's over here, so I think what a good idea would be to store it somewhere safe. So I've set up this down here. It allows manual use, sweep only, edible, and we'll stick all our edible foods down there. That is a vacuum section, so why not? It can stay there and be an emergency food supply for us. It also cleans out this area so we can start moving in there. It's in our vacuum. Perfect. What is left? Rock crusher, and I don't even think we need the manual generators anymore. Alright, to move the rock crusher over there, all we had to do was move all of the gas filtration to there, there, and there, and move a whole bunch of piping around. It only took half an eternity. But finally we can move that over. Everything is getting much, much more cramped. Now, why is that battery even there? I don't even remember. It's not even hooked up to anything. Come on, guys. We'll get rid of that. We'll put in a few treadmills over here just so that the dupes have something to do in the off-season. Now all our dupes have something to do when there's nothing to do. That's been propping up their athletics. Now, time to get rid of all this water. We don't need this water pool anymore. All our science is done, which is what we mainly needed it for. So, yeah, goodbye. Simplest way to get rid of it, we will dump it into our rocket silo. It'll get turned into steam. Once that's done, I think I found a use for this. Maybe. I have a bit of a sly idea as to how we can utilize it. Oh, rocket's back. Perfect. How much steam is in there? Jesus. Okay, 17. It seems to hit about 20 kilos, or even out to about 20 kilos after a while. You'll notice here that I have the hydrogen venting into the room, unless it's over 20 kilos. So that's why I have that second vent up there. It was the only way we could manage to get it working. Otherwise, the hydrogen might end up getting overpressurized in here and backing up into the system and blocking everything. Right, get rid of that. And let's turn this on and fill her up again. I think we've got enough out of that rocket. And how is our power looking down here? Jeez, we are running so well on these steam turbines. Every time we launch a rocket, this thing definitely goes over 200. Just beautiful. I really love this little design. Saves so much time and effort. Oh, I also said I came up with a use for this section up here. That's right. We are going to put a telescope over there. I was going to seal it in. I was going to vacuum it out, and I thought, you know what? Let's just make it a thermium. That way it can't overheat. Well, okay, it can overheat. It just has to go up to 975 C. I think we'll be pretty safe. All right then. What's finally left? Okay, these can go. We do not need coal generators down here. We have got... Oop, don't cancel that. We have got so much power coming in from the steam turbines plus the natural gas. I think we can rip out all of that. Also, pretty much everything through here has got to go. We do have some chlorine here that I was saving for a rainy day, though we do have a ton of it in gas canistered up, so we're just going to dump it into space. We have no need for it anymore. With that gone, that also frees up this space here, and we can demolish pretty much everything from top to bottom, except for that gas pump. I need to get a third gas pump somewhere feeding oxygen into our system so that our atmosphere docks don't run out, and we can keep refueling our rocket. Well, soon to be rockets, actually. I installed this little gas pump over here, runs along there, feeds into the same system as that gas pump. It may get a little bit of carbon dioxide in there, but that's why we have 3 pumps. Between the 3 of them, they'll definitely provide us the 1 kilo per second we need to feed all 10 atmosphere ducts. But that's the final straw in there. We can now start ripping all of this out and turning, well, this is about to become our sour gas boiler. Let me do a few more little excavations here. Finally, we are ready to install. We're going to put in our sour gas boiler here. It's going to be nice and tight against this wall. It'll be next episode. It took way too long to clear everything up here. We had to move, well, the entire base or everything functional in it. So we'll squeeze our sour gas boiler in this side. And then though I've come up with a problem. Everything from, so we'll put in a wall here down to about there, which means everything from here out. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to do with it. That's sort of like going to be free real estate, and I'm not sure what we're going to plop in there. Oh, that can go. Yeah, we actually have a little bit of excess space, and I haven't decided what we're going to fill it with because, well, this is all of our dupes' living quarters, their food, their dining. I even threw in an extra thimbleweed farm because, well, you know, why not? We had the space for it. Everything else seems to be crammed in nice and tight, and the extra power we're getting out of these steam turbine rocket silo heat thing is just, yeah, it's perfect. And, oh, what did you bring us back? We missed the perfect landing, otherwise we would have seen the fullerene as well. The fullerine's on the rail here somewhere. Where is it? Copper, obsidian, fullerene, 1.7 kilos. There should be another 1.7 kilos up here. Yes, we got about 3 kilos of this stuff. Time to start putting that into some other projects, like, oh, say, a bunch of insulation. But that is for the next episode. I think for now, I think we've done, well, quite well. We've managed to move our entire base from one side to the other. Like, all of this has been over here and compactified and made much neater. We've got 3 electrolyzers right sort of down the middle of the base, oxygenating everywhere. And for gas pumps, we've got 3 gas pumps, one here, here, and here, spread out, pumping oxygen into our atmosphere ducts. And we've got the largest bathroom that's not a bathroom. I mean, you go to the atmosphere ducts, you go to the bathroom to put in your atmosphere ducts. I mean, that kind of makes sense. It's like almost a shower room. Yes, we're not installing showers. Anyway, we're still missing one natural gas generator. We'll install that there later, but only after the sour gas boiler is finished, and that is next episode. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and good luck. Right, I know I'm supposed to be gone, but just one last thing before we go. If you look up here, I've basically made a duplicate of this chute, and you notice there's not really a lot of space we've got left. In fact, from up here in the top left down to the bottom right here, I've managed to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's literally 7 tiles where this can fit in. All the rest are occupied. Everything is just crammed in here so tightly. The most inefficient use of space is this ladder going down here. Also, I should probably deconstruct that and use that for something. But yes, the only reason we need that ladder is to make sure everyone went this way past the Atmosuit docks. That is probably the biggest waste of space. Also, we'll probably have to do something with that critter drop off. But the point stands. We've only wasted 7 tiles of space and managed to fit everyone in there. I think that's a good day's work. Anyway, good luck.